To present our first award, please welcome the Vice President of Global Television National News, my boss, Kenton Boston.
This award recognizes that person who, in spite of their addiction to drugs or alcohol, has managed to stay in recovery and go on to make a significant contribution to our society.
She was happily married in 1986. They had a farm, but when they thought about having children, it seemed Winnipeg would be a better place to raise them. So they sold the farm to begin their new dream, which quickly became a nightmare. Within 1 month, her husband was diagnosed as mentally ill. 3 months more, and fearing for her safety, she had to ask him to leave. Her friends surrounded her with love. One of them offered her cocaine. How bad could it be, she thought, just this once? So she tried freebasing, and in that moment, with that one decision, her life would change forever. She was 28 years old. Her name is Angielohr. Cocaine was the only relief she had from the pain in her life. She could quit, but didn't want to. She could quit, but told herself she didn't need to. Cocaine was her friend, her comforter, the husband she had lost. She had a good job in the printing industry. By day, she was strong and in control. By night, she freebased cocaine. The money she made fed her habit. Before long, she was fired from her job. Temporary jobs followed. She needed money to satisfy the overwhelming craving. She worked to use. Before long, her habit was costing $400 a day. Everything was another reason not to stop. She began to sell her body for cash to feed her habit. She was arrested and released so many times, she no longer remembers the count. And in 1998, her husband died from illness related to alcoholism. She moved to Calgary, hoping to leave cocaine behind forever. But in no time, it was back. Lost and alone, her habit escalated to $1,000 a day. She was living on the hard winter streets. Her family was desperately trying to find her with missing posters up everywhere. But Angie was unrecognizable. Gone was the beautiful woman with so much spirit. Physically ill, spiritually broken, she had no reason to live, to end the pain, to end the endlessly repeating flashbacks of the horrors of the last 13 years. It was the lowest point of her life. It is often at our most defenseless points that change can begin. And for Angie, change began on January 23, 2002. She calls it a miracle. When Angie woke up that morning, her need for cocaine stopped. No warning, just stopped. She called her family and asked to come home, asked for their help to find treatment. She returned to Winnipeg and began a 10-day detox. While there, she discovered the 12-step program, which is still the bedrock of her recovery. It took over a year to get clean, but she never looked back, never doubted the miracle of her life. As Angie began to get well, her first instinct was to give back to those women still in the throes of addiction. She became a sponsor of others in the 12-step program. She met Bill, who she would marry in 2006. His non-judgmental support of her became another rock in the foundation of her new life. She began to speak on behalf of the United Way and was their keynote speaker the year they raised more than $15 million. She had to deal with outstanding criminal convictions and ongoing post-traumatic syndrome. But through it all, Angie never wavered. She dealt with each issue, acknowledging her past openly and honestly. She went back to work in the printing industry, and by 2008, she and her husband moved to Kelowna, where Angie is now the BC sales rep for the largest printing house in Western Canada. And it is here where the powerhouse that is Angie was finally unleashed. Angie spearheaded a new initiative in Kelowna called Hope Outreach, which helps sex trade workers get off the streets and out of the trade. 7 nights a week, they head out on the streets of Kelowna. In 2011, they opened the House of Hope, which is a safe house for sex trade workers. Angie personally raises over $10,000 every year for this important community resource. She is the voice of those too broken to speak for themselves. And Angie knows their pain and understands the support that is needed until, like Angie, they too can find the miracle that is the courage to come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 Courage to Come Back Award recipient for addiction, Angielohr.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. I'm so humbled and grateful to accept this award tonight. Where I am today is because of the people that supported me, that stood by my side when I was broken, that inspired me to keep going when I was down, and that helped me to keep on track for today. To thank them would all be impossible, but I do have a few special people here tonight that need some recognition. To Evangel Church and the 70 volunteers at helping out people exploited, my purpose and my passion. Hope is solely operated by volunteers with full-time jobs and families, and funded by donations of many wonderful individuals with great hearts of giving. Without them, we could not do what we do. To Constable Jamie Moffat, the RCMP officer in Kelowna who nominated me, could not be here tonight. Jamie has become such a good friend of mine, and we laugh at the irony as 12 years ago my relationship with police officers was just a little different. Thank you to my mom and to my family who never stop praying and giving of yourselves. I love you very much and appreciate the love and tolerance you have shown. To my boss, Bob Morris, who I've known for 32 years and supports me as I follow my passions, thank you for allowing me to do everything that I do. To all my dear friends, especially Dorothy, Francis, my girlfriend Jody, and those many counselors, and there was many, whose guidance and unconditional love melted all of my scars. To Kelly Lim, alias Jeff. Kelly's our house manager at Hope Outreach, and thank you for your commitment to helping women that have no voice left. I love you dearly. You've all put your hearts and souls into saving my life. For my last thank you, my dearest husband, Bill. I did marry him for his money. It was his last name because I needed the new alias this time. Thank you, honey, for my last name. Bill was and is a gift. He has integrity and honor and humor. He has never judged my past or held back my future. I thank you for your laughter, your spirit, your perseverance, your integrity, and your honesty, and your endless love for me through these last 10 years. Finally, thank you to Coast Mental Health. They've just treated us like royalty through this experience. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. My past is no longer an autobiography. It is a reference book to be taken down and shared. To have my family again, a host of friends, to be a good employee, to be an upstanding citizen in the community, to go out and do for others and walk in the light of God. That is the spirit and miracle of each day. Hope, faith, and courage have brought me to this point and will allow us to continue to go on. Thank you, everyone, so much for this evening.